The wallet slipped from my pocket like a secret escaping into the wind, tumbling across the sun-baked sand of Venice Beach as I chased a fleeting dream. When she handed it back, her fingers brushing mine, I felt a jolt that cracked open the facade I'd built around my heart. But it was her whispered words. "I know your truth because it's mine too," that shattered everything I thought I knew about love and lies. Emma Thompson stared at the endless stretch of Venice Beach, the Pacific Ocean roaring like an old friend who'd seen too many of her mistakes. It was a typical Saturday in Los Angeles, the kind where the sun hung high and merciless, baking the colorful chaos of skateboarders, street performers, and tourists into a vibrant mosaic. She adjusted her sunglasses, her mind a whirlwind of deadlines and doubts from her job as a graphic designer at a small ad firm downtown. At 28, Emma felt like she was treading water in a sea of unfulfilled promises, her art degree gathering dust, her relationships a string of superficial flings that never quite stuck. She'd come to the beach to clear her head after another sleepless night arguing with herself about coming out to her conservative Midwestern family. The wallet incident happened so fast she barely registered it. One moment she was bending down to tie her sneaker. The next, a gust of wind snatched her battered leather billfold from her unzipped backpack. It skittered across the sand, dodging feet and frisbees, until it vanished behind a cluster of volleyball players. "Damn it," she muttered, scrambling after it, her heart pounding not just from the chase but from the panic of losing her ID cards and the faded photo of her late grandmother tucked inside. By the time she reached the spot, the wallet was gone. Emma scanned the crowd, her chest tightening. This was LA after all, lost items didn't magically reappear. She sank onto the sand, burying her face in her hands, feeling the weight of the day crash over her like a wave. That's when she heard the voice, smooth and warm like honeyed bourbon. "Looking for this?" She looked up to see a woman standing there, holding out the wallet with a gentle smile. The stranger was striking, mid-30s, with sun-kissed auburn hair tied in a loose ponytail, freckles dusting her nose, and eyes the color of the ocean on a stormy day. She wore a simple tank top and shorts. A surfboard leaned against her hip like an extension of her body. "I saw it doing a tumble routine across the beach," she said, her laugh light and infectious. "Figured it belonged to someone who needed a break today." Emma took the wallet, their fingers grazing in a way that sent an unexpected spark up her arm. "Thank you. Really. I don't know what I would have done." She stood, brushing sand from her jeans, suddenly self-conscious under the woman's gaze. "I'm Evelina," the stranger said, extending her hand properly this time. "Evelina Rivera. Local surfer, occasional good Samaritan." "Emma Thompson," she replied, shaking it. Evelina's grip was firm, confident, the kind that made Emma feel seen in a city where everyone was invisible. They chatted briefly, about the unpredictable winds, the best food trucks nearby, how LA could swallow you whole if you let it. Evelina mentioned she owned a small coffee shop in Santa Monica, a place called Wave Break Brew, where artists and dreamers gathered. Emma, emboldened by the easy conversation, mentioned her design work. Before she knew it, Evelina was inviting her for a free latte. "As a reward for not losing your mind over a lost wallet," Evelina teased. Emma hesitated, but something in Evelina's eyes, kind, curious, unflinching, pulled her in. She nodded, and just like that, a simple act of kindness cracked open the door to something deeper. As the afternoon wore on, they walked along the boardwalk, the salty air mingling with the scent of fried dough from vendors. Emma opened up more than she intended, sharing stories of her move from Chicago 3 years ago, chasing a creative life that felt just out of reach. Evelina listened intently, her presence a soothing balm. "Sounds like you're searching for your wave," Evelina said, nodding toward the ocean. "The one that carries you without breaking you." By sunset they exchanged numbers. Emma drove home that evening, wallet secure in her pocket, but her mind replaying Evelina's smile. Little did she know, this chance encounter was the first ripple in a tide that would upend her world. Over the next few weeks, their meetings became routine. Coffee at Wave Break Brew turned into beach walks, then dinners at hole-in-the-wall spots in Venice. Evelina was everything Emma wasn't: adventurous, openly queer, with a past that included backpacking through Europe and a brief stint as a pro surfer before settling down. She spoke of her Mexican-American roots with pride, Her family in San Diego who embraced her identity without question. Emma, meanwhile, guarded her secrets like treasures buried in sand. She dated women in college, stolen kisses in shadows, but never fully embraced it. Fear of rejection from family, friends, society kept her in the closet. With Evelina, though, the walls began to crumble. Their conversations danced around flirtation, charged with unspoken tension. One evening, as they sat on the beach watching the stars emerge, Evelina turned to her. "Emma, there's something about you. Like you're holding back a part of yourself." Emma's heart raced. She wanted to confess, to lean in and bridge the gap, but the words stuck. Instead, she changed the subject, but the seed was planted. That night, lying awake in her tiny apartment, Emma realized she was falling hard and fast for the woman who'd found her wallet and perhaps her heart. The budding connection between Emma and Evelina blossomed like wildflowers after a California rain. What started as casual meetups evolved into something intimate, laced with the kind of vulnerability that made Emma's pulse quicken. Evelina's coffee shop became their sanctuary, a cozy nook with mismatched chairs, local art on the walls, and the constant hum of indie folk music. Emma would perch at the counter during slow hours, sketching logos while Evelina experimented with new brews. "You're talented," Evelina said one afternoon, peering over Emma's shoulder at a digital mock-up on her laptop. "Why hide behind ad campaigns? You could be illustrating books or something real." Emma blushed, unused to such direct praise. "It's safe. Pays the bills." But Evelina's words lingered, stirring a restlessness she'd long suppressed. Their first real date, if Emma dared call it that, happened under the guise of exploring the city. Evelina took her to Griffith Observatory at dusk, the Hollywood sign glowing in the distance like a promise. As they leaned against the railing, overlooking the twinkling sprawl of LA, Evelina's hand found Emma's. "This view never gets old," Evelina murmured. "Reminds me how small our problems are." Emma squeezed back, her voice barely above a whisper. "With you they feel even smaller." The kiss that followed was tentative at first, then deepening with the weight of pent-up emotion. It was Emma's first public display of affection with a woman, and the freedom terrified and thrilled her in equal measure. From there, their relationship accelerated. Weekends were spent surfing, Emma clumsily at first, Evelina patient and encouraging, or hiking in the Santa Monica Mountains, where confessions flowed freely. Evelina shared her own heartbreaks. A college sweetheart who'd left her for a safer life, the discrimination she'd faced as a queer Latina in the surfing world. "But I wouldn't change it," Evelina said, her eyes fierce. "It made me who I am." Emma, inspired, began to open up about her fears. "My parents. They're from a small town. They think being gay is a phase or a choice." Evelina held her, offering no judgments, just quiet support. "You'll tell them when you're ready. And I'll be here." As months passed, their bond deepened into love. Emma moved some things into Evelina's beachside bungalow, a quaint space filled with surf memorabilia and books on philosophy. They cooked Mexican fusion meals, laughed over bad movies, and dreamed of a future, maybe traveling together, starting a creative venture. But cracks began to show. Emma's reluctance to come out publicly strained things. At a Pride event in West Hollywood, Evelina wanted to hold hands openly, but Emma pulled away, citing work friends might see. Evelina's hurt was palpable. "I get it, Em. But hiding feels like lying to ourselves." The real conflict brewed from an unexpected source. One evening, while sorting through old photos at Evelina's place, Emma stumbled upon a letter tucked in a drawer. It was from someone named Jordan, dated a year ago, professing undying love and begging for reconciliation. "Who's Jordan?" Emma asked, her voice trembling. Evelina's face paled. "An ex. It's ancient history." But Emma pressed. "The date's recent. Were you together when we met?" Evelina sighed, sitting on the bed. "We were on and off. It ended for good right before I found your wallet. I swear." Doubt seated in Emma's mind. She withdrew, her insecurities flaring. Was Evelina truly over her past? Or was Emma just a rebound? The tension escalated during a weekend getaway to Big Sur. Amid the rugged cliffs and crashing waves, they argued fiercely. "You act like I'm the one with secrets," Evelina snapped. But you're the one pretending to be straight at family dinners. Emma stormed out, driving back to LA alone, tears blurring the highway. At home, she ignored Evelina's calls, wallowing in betrayal's sting. How could the woman who'd changed her life with honesty now hide such a truth? Days turned to weeks of radio silence. Emma threw herself into work, but the emptiness gnawed. Then a package arrived. Her wallet, the one from the beach, with a note inside. Remember the simple truth? We found each other. Don't let fear win. Emma's resolve cracked. She drove to Wave Break Brew, heart in throat. Evelina was behind the counter, looking worn. I should have told you about Jordan sooner, Evelina admitted. But it was over. You're my now, my future. They reconciled under the shop's string lights, forgiveness weaving them closer. Emma vowed to face her fears, starting with a call to her parents. The conversation was tearful, but her mother's eventual, I love you, no matter what, lifted a boulder from her chest. Their love, forged in drama and depth, felt unbreakable. Yet life had more tests in store. With reconciliation came a renewed passion, but the shadows of past wounds lingered like fog over the Pacific. Emma and Evelina dove deeper into their relationship, building a life intertwined with LA's eclectic rhythm. Emma quit her soul-sucking job, freelancing designs for queer-owned businesses, inspired by Evelina's entrepreneurial spirit. They attended therapy together, unpacking baggage, Emma's internalized homophobia, Evelina's fear of abandonment. Summer brought joy. Pride parades where they marched hand in hand, Emma's rainbow flag waving proudly. Family visits tested them. Evelina charmed Emma's parents during a tense Thanksgiving in Chicago, her warmth melting reservations. She's good for you, Emma's dad grumbled approvingly over pie. But drama simmered beneath. Jordan reappeared, not in person but through whispers. A mutual friend mentioned seeing Evelina lunching with her ex. Just catching up. Emma confronted Evelina that night, voice laced with accusation. Is this the betrayal I feared? Evelina denied romance, insisting it was closure. Jordan's engaged now. It was nothing. But the seed of distrust sprouted, fueled by Emma's insecurities. The high drama unfolded at Wave Break Brew's anniversary party. The shop buzzed with locals, live music, and flowing drinks. Emma arrived late from a client meeting, spotting Evelina in animated conversation with a stunning woman, Jordan, unmistakable from photos. Laughter echoed, their ease too familiar. Jealousy boiled over. Emma pulled Evelina aside. What the hell? You invited her. It was a group thing, Evelina protested. I didn't think. You never think about how it hurts me. Emma shouted, drawing stares. She fled into the night, rain-slicked streets mirroring her turmoil. Evelina chased after, the downpour drenching them. Emma, stop. I love you. Jordan's past. You're my everything. But Emma, raw and exposed, unleashed pent-up pain. How can I trust you when you hide things? That simple truth you mentioned on the beach? Was it all a lie? Evelina's eyes filled with tears. The truth was, I saw your photo in the wallet, a college snapshot with a girl, arms around each other. I knew you were like me, struggling. That's why I approached. To show you it's okay to be who you are. The revelation hit Emma like a wave. That simple truth wasn't just words. It was Evelina seeing her soul from the start. Shame washed over her. I didn't know. They stood in the rain, embracing, forgiveness a bridge over the chasm. But the incident exposed fractures. Emma realized her jealousy stemmed from self-doubt. Evelina admitted to lingering ties she needed to sever. Post-party they recommitted. Evelina cut contact with Jordan and Emma worked on trust. Their love evolved, more resilient, laced with humanism, understanding each other's flaws as part of the beauty. Yet fate twisted again. Evelina's health scare, a lump discovered during a routine check, thrust them into emotional depths. Biopsies, waiting rooms, the sterile hum of hospitals in downtown LA. Emma held Evelina's hand through it all, their bond a lifeline. It's benign, the doctor announced weeks later. Relief flooded them, but the ordeal shifted perspectives. Life's too short for half-truths, Evelina said, proposing a commitment ceremony on the beach where it began. Planning brought joy amid chaos. Friends rallied, the event a celebration of love's triumph over adversity. But on the eve, Emma's old fears resurfaced. A call from her sister. "Mom's worried. Is this too fast?" Emma confided in Evelina, who listened patiently. "We're not rushing. We're claiming our happiness." The ceremony dawned bright, Venice Beach alive with their story. Vows exchanged under a floral arch, waves applauding. "You found more than my wallet," Emma said. "You found me." As they danced barefoot in the sand, the drama of their journey felt like a distant storm. Love, deepened by conflict and betrayal's sting, emerged stronger, a testament to human resilience. But whispers of more trials loomed. Evelina's family secrets, perhaps, or external pressures. For now they savored the calm. The commitment ceremony marked a pinnacle, but life's drama rarely pauses for happy endings. Emma and Evelina settled into a rhythm of domestic bliss in Evelina's bungalow. Now they're home. Mornings began with coffee on the porch, watching surfers carve waves. Evenings ended tangled in sheets, whispers of forever. Yet external forces conspired. Emma's career soared. A major contract designing for a queer film festival. But it meant long hours, travel to San Francisco. Evelina supported her, but loneliness crept in. The coffee shop struggled post-pandemic, debts mounting. Evelina hid the stress, not wanting to burden Emma. The betrayal came subtly at first. Late nights, Evelina claimed inventory, but her phone buzzed with messages from an investor, Sophia, a sleek businesswoman with a predatory smile. Sophia promised funding, but her interest in Evelina was personal. Emma discovered it accidentally, glancing at Evelina's laptop during a surprise dinner prep. Emails laced with flirtation. "Can't wait for our meeting." Alone. Heart-shattering. Emma confronted Evelina that night. "Is this why you've been distant?" Another woman. Evelina's face crumpled. "It's not what you think. Sophia's helping with the shop. The flirty stuff. I didn't encourage it, but I didn't stop it either. I was scared of losing everything." "Everything? Including us?" Emma's voice broke. The pain of perceived betrayal cut deep, echoing Jordan's shadow. They argued into the dawn, words like daggers. "You've changed my life, Evelina, but maybe not for the better if it ends in lies." Evelina begged forgiveness. "I messed up. The shop's failing. I didn't want you worrying. Sophia was a lifeline, but you're my heart." Emma left for San Francisco the next day, needing space. Alone in her hotel, she reflected on their journey, from beach encounter to this precipice. The simple truth Evelina revealed that first day? It was about authenticity. Yet here they were, entangled in deception. In the city by the bay, Emma met old college friends, including a former flame, Riley. Over drinks, Riley's easy affection tempted. A balm for her wounds. But Emma pulled back. "I love Evelina, flawed as she is." The realization hit. Love wasn't perfection. It was choosing each other despite imperfections. She cut her trip short, racing back to LA. Arriving at the bungalow, she found Evelina packing. "I'm selling the shop," Evelina said tearfully. "Sophia's out. I can't risk us." Emma pulled her close. "We fight this together. No more secrets." They rebuilt step by human step. Evelina refinanced with honest investors. Emma scaled back work. Therapy deepened their emotional intimacy, turning scars into strengths. A year later, challenges persisted. Evelina's family revealed a hidden sibling, bringing cultural clashes, but their bond held. They volunteered at LGBTQ+ centers, channeling pain into purpose, helping others navigate love's dramas. One evening, walking Venice Beach, Emma paused where it began. "That wallet loss? Best mistake ever." Evelina smiled. "And the truth? It's us against the world." Their story, rich in romance and redemption, whispered of humanism. In betrayal's wake, forgiveness blooms. But as winter approached, a final test loomed. A cross-country move offer for Emma's dream job. Would love endure distance? The job offer from a prestigious New York design firm dangled like a forbidden fruit, promising prestige and financial security. Emma agonized over it in their bungalow. The ocean's murmur a constant reminder of what she'd leave behind. "It's my big break," she told Evelina, voice laced with conflict. But it means uprooting everything. Evelina, ever supportive, masked her fear. If it's your dream, we'll make it work. Long-distance visits. Love finds a way. But the drama intensified. Emma's parents, now accepting but traditional, urged her to take it. Stability, honey. LA's too unpredictable. Evelina's family, tied to California, worried about separation. Internal turmoil peaked during a heated discussion. What if distance breaks us? Emma cried. We've survived betrayal, health scares, but this? Evelina's eyes flashed. Then we weren't strong enough. But I believe we are. Emma accepted the job, a bittersweet victory. The move was frantic. Packing goodbyes, tears at the airport. This isn't goodbye, Evelina whispered, kissing her fiercely. New York swallowed Emma in its frenzy. Skyscrapers, subways, endless energy. She thrived professionally, her designs gracing billboards. But loneliness gnawed. Video calls with Evelina sustained her, but the time difference and exhaustion strained. Then came the ultimate betrayal. Not from Evelina but fate. A call from San Diego. Evelina's mother had a stroke. Evelina rushed south, managing the shop remotely. Communication faltered. Messages went unread. Emma flew back unannounced, finding Evelina at the hospital, exhausted. Why didn't you tell me sooner? I didn't want to pull you from your dream, Evelina admitted. The confession sparked renewal. Emma took leave, supporting Evelina through recovery. In quiet hospital moments, they reaffirmed their love. New York's not home without you, Emma said. She quit the job, returning to LA. They married legally in a small ceremony, surrounded by loved ones on Venice Beach. Vows echoed humanism. In joy and sorrow, truth and forgiveness, we choose each other. Years later, they adopted a child, a little girl from foster care, infusing their life with new purpose. The coffee shop flourished as a community hub. Emma's art adorned galleries. Reflecting on that lost wallet, Emma marveled at the chain. A simple act leading to profound change. Their story, dramatic, emotional, romantic, wasn't perfect, but it was theirs, a beacon of resilience. In the end, love's truth prevailed, not in fairy tale bliss, but in the quiet strength of two women weathering life's storms together. Happily ever after? Not without scars, but with hearts wide open.